Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're spending some time in the kitchen. I have a whole list of things that I need to make. I could have made it on a bigger piece of paper, really. I need to make fajita seasoning, pizza dough ×3, spiced nuts for lunches, banana muffins, maybe granola bars. I also have a different recipe for some protein balls that I'm gonna make, breakfast muffins and croutons. And then while I'm doing all that, I have some beef broth here and some chicken broth that's still out in the refrigerator in the shop that I need to get processed because it's been sitting in there for a couple days and I need to deal with it. So I'm gonna get started with the chicken broth, get that going in the canner, and then do some of these other little things. So come along with me. Right now we are just getting started with the cold beef broth straight out of the refrigerator. So as you can see, all the fat rises when it gets cold, which is part of the reason why you store it in there after you've made the broth. But then it congeals, so I needed to warm it up, and then I got started separating the chicken bones from the chicken broth also. And then I will go through and separate the meat off of the bones, whatever's left off of it. And I'm going to combine that meat with some leftover chicken strips that I had in the fridge in the house. And I'm going to take the breading off of those chicken strips and make some chicken salad out of that. So that is just one way that I stretch our food a little bit further, is reuse the leftovers. I'm not quite sure where the footage went of me making the actual chicken salad, but it was just the cubed up chicken meat with some mayonnaise, Dijon mustard, a little bit of relish, and I think that was it. It was a very simple salad. So once the beef broth was heated back up to liquefy, I strained all the bones out of that as well and pulled the meat off of those bones also. This meat I just went ahead and put in a freezer bag and put in the freezer, and I marked it to use for quesadillas or carnitas or anything like that. I'm not going to show myself canning this broth today. I have done a video on that in the past, and I will link that down in the description box below. Next, I got started on the protein balls. These are chocolate peanut butter protein bites that I found the recipe online. I will link it down in the description box for you below. But it is peanut butter, chocolate chips, old-fashioned oats, flaxseed, honey, cocoa powder, protein powder, and water. So if you see here in just a second, my honey has completely crystallized. If you have any ideas other than putting it in some, like putting the whole container in some hot water, on how to get it to be runny again, let me know down in the comments below. I have a hard time with that. Sometimes my honey crystallizes, sometimes it doesn't, but I never know how to get it back to its original state, and I don't even know if you can, but let me know if you know. Anyways, this was a brand new recipe for us, and everyone said they really liked these, probably more so than the original protein bites that I've made on this channel. So if you're going to try a recipe, I would recommend trying this one. Now I am working on bacon and cheese breakfast muffins with a kick is the title of the recipe. This one is also from a website. I will link it down below. I saw this recipe on how Jen does it. It's a super old video of hers. I wish she would start recording videos again because I really miss her channel. But this recipe has in it eggs, milk, oil, cheese, bacon strips, or like bacon crumbles, flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, garlic powder, black pepper, and then Creole seasoning, which makes this smell so good while it's baking. Everybody also really loves these muffins. These are a new staple for our house. Next, I got started on making my homemade fajita seasoning. It is just equal parts cumin, oregano, chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, and dried cilantro. You can add salt in now, or you can add it in when you're cooking your fajitas. I did just half of all of the other stuff that I added in. And then I added it to a mason jar and mixed it up. This fajita seasoning is really good, and I have made it before. Also, you can see my croutons there on the side. I also have no idea what happened to that footage. But if you'd like to see a video on how I make homemade croutons out of old bread, just let me know down in the comments below and I would be happy to make that video for you. This is what the breakfast muffins came out looking like. Oh my gosh, they smelled so good while they were cooking. I wish there was smell-o-vision. And here's the croutons. They always come out nice and golden brown and crispy and delicious. So I thought I would just give an overview of what I got accomplished today. This took me about 2.5 hours, I think, maybe 2 hours. But I got 2 quarts and 4 pints of chicken broth, 3 quarts of beef broth that I processed, and then over on the counter I have a pint of beef broth that I didn't process so that I could keep that in the fridge for this week for meals. And then I have my chicken salad made out of leftovers. The breakfast muffins, these look absolutely delicious. I hope they taste good because they look really, really good. My croutons and my fajita seasoning and the protein balls, which are also a new recipe. So hopefully those are also good. Anyways, that's everything I got done today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.